You're teed up for GolfNewsRI TV with your host, Joe Calabro, and his guests. We're talking everything golf around the region and on the tours. Now, here's your host, Joe Calabro.
Welcome to GolfNewsRI TV. I'm co-founder and CEO Joe Calabro. All right, so on today's show, I believe this is episode 12. Just a few episodes left, but stay with us. We've had a great run so far this year. The last few shows have been awesome. Last week, of course, with Dave Adamonis giving his state of the state of junior golf in Rhode Island. I thought that was really, really interesting, and thanks to Dave for coming on. And then, of course, Amanda Parker from the Brick Fund. Get involved with the Brick Fund, and hopefully we'll see you in September at Warwick Country Club. And then, of course, the week before that, it was self-explanatory with Billy Andrade over at his house right on the water. A really cool conversation, and I learned a lot. I really didn't know why he had an MLB hat on. I just thought he was wearing it because he was a baseball fan. So that was really cool too. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to all the sponsors for making this show possible and continuing to support GolfNewsRI and GolfNewsRI TV. Let's get into it. We have a lot to get to. We have the junior am stuff, both girls and boys. We have guys and girls playing on the road and having some high finishes. And then at the end of the show, we're gonna get you ready for tomorrow's Devon Quigley Memorial Tournament with Brett Quigley. So let's say that 5 times fast. So a lot to get to. So first, let's get to the junior am, which was held at Pawtucket earlier this month. We'll start with the girls. Lily Dessel captured her second straight girls junior amateur title, and we talked to her after the round. Lily Dessel claimed her second straight RI girls junior am title earlier this month at Pawtucket Country Club. Dessel beat Hanley Correa 6-4 to retain the trophy. This one.
Yeah, this feels pretty huge. I mean, going into this week, I definitely wanted to win it. I didn't start off too hot on Monday, but I just built a lot of confidence starting Tuesday and have carried that out the whole week, so I'm really happy about this.
Dessel says that confidence came from her short game, something that she's worked on all summer.
It's just my short game. I mean, I worked a lot at the beginning of the summer on putting. I mean, I spent hours on the putting green, and I really felt like a lot of the time today, since Tuesday, I couldn't miss.
Well, that hard work all paid off as Dessel cruised to the trophy, with not one of her matches going past the 14th hole.
I mean, Monday I wasn't happy with how I played, but I knew that wasn't my usual. I knew what I could do, and since Tuesday, I mean, I think I was like even in my match, my score. Wednesday around the same, and then yesterday I was like 2 or 3 under, and today it might be around that. So,
despite her calm and confident demeanor, Dessel admitted that the pressure to repeat was there.
It's tough because coming into the week, there's definitely a lot of pressure around it. Like when they announce you on the first tee, defending champion, it kind of like feels weird, and it's definitely different. Also repeating or going to do it on the same course like last year. But that also gives me confidence because I knew I could do it on this course last year, so I also know I could do it again.
And that she did. Dessel closes her junior career with back-to-back girls titles and will now head to Holy Cross in just a few weeks. Reporting for GolfNewsRI, I'm Joe Calabro. All right, that was Lily Dessel after her second straight girls junior am title win. Like I said in the package, she dominated the field. Not one of her matches went past the 14th hole, so good for her. It was impressive to watch. And now she's off to Holy Cross in just a few weeks, where she'll be on the Holy Cross women's golf team for her freshman year and beyond. So best of luck to her. Also, shout out to Olivia Williams, whose junior career came to an end at the girls junior amateur. She's off to Merrimack in a few weeks to play college golf for Merrimack. So shout out to both of them as their junior careers come to a close. And boy, if that doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what will. But speaking of feeling old, Lily Dessel won the girls junior am. A week later, Harry Dessel won the Rhode Island Stroke Play Championship, his second Rhode Island Stroke Play title. And if you want to feel old, I got something for you. So he fit in the final round. I was there for the final 18 holes. Him and Max Jackson were battling it out for the title. And I covered, our first year covering high school golf with GolfNewsRI was Max Jackson's freshman year at LaSalle. And now he's going to be a sophomore at Rutgers in just a few weeks. Harry Dessel, I covered his sophomore year at Moses Brown. Again, our first year covering high school golf in 2021 because there was no high school golf in 2020 because of COVID. I don't think there was any high school sports at all in 2020. I could be mistaken, but there was certainly no high school golf. So I covered Harry Dessel's sophomore year at Moses Brown. Now he's going to be a junior at Lafayette. So everyone talks about, oh, you're making me feel old, this and that. Well, if you want to feel old, there you go. That's prime example. So congrats to Max on a great run. And of course, Harry is having a big summer. He's won the stroke play just recently. But prior to that, he finished the top 5 at New England's, which is a big deal. Him and Bobby Leopold. Harry was actually leading the tournament for most of the way. I think 3 rounds plus. He went into the final round with the lead for sure. So he had a great tournament. And then he just missed out on qualifying for the U.S. Amateur. He did get an alternate spot, so we'll have to wait and see if he gets in. Usually it's hit or miss whether you get in with the alternate spots or not, because how many people are dropping out of the U.S. Amateur. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. When that gets closer, we'll obviously have you updated. We do have Mike Califf, the Rhode Island Amateur champion, in the U.S. Amateur this year, so we have that to watch. But congrats to Harry on a great run, and he'll be headed back to school. And also congrats to Max as well on a great tournament. He starts his sophomore year at Rutgers. But yeah, definitely made me feel old walking with them. Like, they're all grown up now. Just having flashbacks to the high school matches and to their junior AM final a bunch of years ago at Rhode Island Country Club. Speaking of U.S. amateurs, as a bee is in my ear, is saying to stop talking. Speaking of U.S. amateurs, Allison Paik made it to the match play portion of the U.S. Women's Am. She lost in a heartbreaking 24 holes to the 5 seed Catherine Rowe. Catherine is a really good player. She's made it to the quarterfinals each of the last few years. But a great run by Allison. She survived in the stroke play. She survived the 15 for 6 spot playoff. 15 people for 6 spots, which is crazy. She birdied the first playoff hole to get in. So congrats to her on a great run. Obviously a heartbreaker in the match play, but Allison Paik was our first guest ever when we did the podcast way back in the day. In 2020, the Golf Dudes podcast. She was our first guest ever. She had just committed to Columbia, so it's fun to see her still playing and still playing well. So congrats to everybody as we hand out our flowers here on GolfNewsRI TV. When we come back, we're going to get into the boys junior amateur. Plus, we have other players playing across the country, across the region that we'll get to, and much more. I'm Joe Calabro. This is GolfNewsRI TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back to GolfNewsRI TV. I'm Joe Calabro. Again, just me today, having a little news roundup. GolfNewsRI, we pride ourselves on covering golf and being a news organization, and we thought this week's show was a great opportunity to kind of take a break and recap what's been going on and what's to come in the state and beyond, so that way everyone can keep track, and also we can give our props to various tournaments that have happened. And so thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, thank you to all the sponsors for continuing to make GolfNewsRI TV and GolfNewsRI, just in general, possible. So in the first segment, we talked about Lily Dessel and the girls junior amateur. That was at Pawtucket. And now we'll get into the boys junior amateur. It was a great tournament as always, and it ended up being Joey Giafano against AJ Colonna in the championship match, 18-hole match at Pawtucket. And Colonna and AJ ended up beating him 1-up on the 18th hole. And so after the round, we caught up with AJ Colonna to talk about the win and what it means for him.
The boys junior amateur was a battle of Florida high school golf state champions, with AJ Colonna beating Joey Giafano 1-up on the 18th hole to take the title at Pawtucket Country Club.
It means everything. I mean, we've worked so hard this whole week. Not a lot of sleep, obviously. Just coming out here and grinding and getting it done means a lot.
Colonna and Giafano are teammates at Oxbridge Academy in Florida, where this past fall, they helped the squad to their first ever state championship. So playing against each other in the Junior M final was special.
Playing against Joey, I mean, it's always awesome. I've played with him since I've grown up. He's such a great player, and if he's watching this, he shouldn't let this take away from anything he's done. I still hope he goes out and wins every tournament he plays. This changes nothing for him.
For Colonna, this win punches him a ticket to the 2026 U.S. Junior Am. This year was the first time that the Rhode Island Junior Am winner gets to go.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I'm still kind of at a loss for words. I'll process that all later. I'm just excited to enjoy it with my family and everyone that came out.
More than anything else, though, this win serves as validation for all the hard work that Colonna has put in over the past several years.
I mean, it's just validation that I know I can play at the highest level of golf. It's nice to, get a win sometimes to help with that, because golf is kind of a crazy game. You can go through slumps like it's nothing. So, yeah, it means everything.
Colonna is now headed back down to Florida to get ready for the school year and the beginning of the Oxbridge Academy title defense, which starts in just a few weeks. Reporting for GolfNewsRI, I'm Joe Calabro.
All right, that was AJ talking about winning the boys junior amateur here in Rhode Island. Him and Joey Echefano are headed back down to Florida shortly to go to back to school at Oxbridge Academy and defend their high school state championship title as the Florida high school season is in the fall. So that'll be something we'll be following throughout the winter. But congrats to AJ on the big win. And again, feel old. In 2021, I interviewed AJ and his father on a podcast when they were in a hotel room down at Augusta National for the drive, chip, and putt finals at Masters. And now, just a few years later, here we are. So again, it's like the making Joe feel old week. But anyway, congrats to AJ and a great run by Joey Echefano as well. And he just finished in the top 25 at the Granny Junior Invitational over in Tennessee. So he's continuing to play some good golf, and he's going to be something to watch in the coming years. Speaking of the junior amateur, some news actually came out of, a couple of news items came out of the junior amateur at Pawtucket. One was that Pawtucket Country Club is going to host the Rhode Island Junior Amateur for the next 2 years. So 2026 and 2027, Pawtucket's going to host the Junior Amateur. So that will be 4 years in a row for Pawtucket. So congrats. So good for them for stepping up and hosting tournaments. This day and age, it's not easy to find courses to host tournaments just in general. So congrats. So good for them. Congrats to them on stepping up and hosting it. And of course, 2027 will be Pawtucket's 125 year anniversary. So that'll be a big celebration. They'll celebrate with the junior amateur. Also, as we mentioned in the package, which was really cool, AJ Colonna now gets a bid to the U.S. Junior Amateur in 2026. The U.S. Junior Amateur in 2025 already happened. So that's really cool. This is the first year where the Junior Amateur winner here in Rhode Island gets to go to the U.S. Junior Amateur, which is obviously a huge, huge stage for anybody. Nonetheless, somebody from Rhode Island. So that's really cool. And we already know that the men's amateur champion goes to the U.S. Amateur. This should be Mike, as I mentioned. So it's really cool that the boys junior amateur gets a bid. And according to Riga's Bob Ward, they're hoping that in the near future, the same will be true for the women's amateur and the girls junior. So hopefully in the next couple of years, at least that's what it sounds like, the girls junior amateur champion will go to the U.S. girls junior amateur, and the Rhode Island women's amateur champion will go to the U.S. women's amateur, which would be massive, massive things for the Rhode Island tournament. So certainly it has added prestige to the men's amateur, and it will certainly do the same thing for the women's amateur if and when that becomes the case. So congrats to everybody on that. Those are the two big news items that came out of the junior amateur. So that is awesome. Before we hit the commercial break here and then get into the final segment, just want to hit on one other thing. Adriana Eaton competed at the Northern Junior over in Connecticut earlier this month, and she finished in the top 15. So she continues to play well and continues to have a big summer after winning the high school state championship and then winning the World Series of Junior Golf. She continued to play well. So Adriana gets a top 15 finish at the Northern Junior. When we come back, we're going to get into some club champions. We're going to acknowledge more club champions. So club champions, tune in, and then we'll get you ready for tomorrow's Devon Quigley Memorial Tournament. This is GolfNewsRI TV. I'm Joe Calabro. Stay with us. Welcome back to GolfNewsRI TV. Thanks for sticking with us today. I know you're probably all bored because it's just me but I figured it was a great opportunity, like I said, to recap some news, catch up on things, and give some people their credit, and also talk about some news items that we hit on in the second segment. The first segment, we hit on the girls junior amateur with Lily Dessel winning, and then of course we talked about me feeling old with Harry Dessel and Max Jackson going back and forth, and the boys stroke play with Harry winning. And then we got into some U.S. amateur stuff, a great run by Allison Paik. And then the second segment, we talked with AJ Colonna on his boys junior amateur title, and best of luck to him and Joey Chafano as they head back down to Florida to start their school year. Get those school buses ready. They're coming, which is a great time of year for other people that don't have to go to school. So congrats to both of them, and best of luck in their high school golf season down in Florida as they try to repeat as high school golf state champions with Oxbridge Academy. And the high school golf state championship down in Florida is no joke. It's a massive, massive, massive tournament. Statewide qualifiers, regionals, all kinds of stuff. So it's nuts. So anyway, best of luck to them. So that was the first two segments. If you missed anything, you go back and watch it, and the show will be up on YouTube and on GolfNewsRI the next day. So again, thank you to everybody tuning in. Thank you to all the sponsors for making this show possible and for making GolfNewsRI possible as well. A few things to hit on before we wrap up here. I'm going to leave you with a clip of Brett Quigley talking about Devon Quigley. But before that, we do want to hit on our club champions. A big part of golf in Rhode Island and anywhere are the club championships. It's a big deal. People love reading about it. People love obviously seeing their name in lights. So last week we did the first batch. I think we had 8 last week. This week we have 6. And I'm only looking at my phone just so I can make sure I get the names correct and say the right thing. So we want to hit on club champions. Again, as I mentioned last week, if you don't see your name here this week, check back again next week, or maybe not next week because we'll be at the Devon Quigley thing, but the week after that, check back in the near future. We're going to keep updating the list. Club championships happen all throughout the summer, all different times. So we're going to keep updating the list until the very end, and we try to cover everybody. So just to hit on a few, the club champions that we have: Angel McLeod, Bryant women's coach, won the Wannamoisett Ladies Club Championship. That's her 8th club championship title at Wannamoisett. So congrats to Angel, and thanks for all the continued support. Our guy Rocco Capalbo won the Shelter Harbor Club Championship. Over at Louis Quizet, Mike Desjean won the Men's Club Championship at Louis Quizet. Chris Hanley is the Potawatomi Senior Club Champion. That took place back in June. That might have been the first club championship crowned of the summer. I could be wrong, but it's got to be pretty close. June 22nd, I think they've had that. Our guy Michael Perry won the Warwick Senior Club Championship. And to close out this week's round of club champions, congrats to Joanne Jackson, who won the Warwick Ladies Senior Club Championship. So we still have a bunch of more club championships to go. We're waiting on the Warwick regular club championships, men's and women's. We also are waiting for the Triggs Club Championship to happen. So those are just 3 among others to come. And also waiting for the Kirkbride Senior Club Championship. And like I said, there's a bunch of others. So congrats to everybody. And again, if you don't see your name, if you haven't seen your name there the last 2 weeks, keep checking back, because we only put so many names on the graphic before it starts looking crazy. And so we're going to keep updating this as much as possible over the next few weeks. So keep checking back, and we'll keep updating the Club Champions board. I think it's a cool thing. I think it's a big deal, and we enjoy covering it. So we're going to keep doing it here on GolfNewsRI and on GolfNewsRI TV. Before we go, we want to let you know that thank you to everyone who signed up to play and contributed to the Devon Quigley Memorial Tournament. That's tomorrow at Crestwood Country Club. As I've said, for us, it's been a huge honor to be part of it, and I've learned a lot, as I mentioned on the road show, about Devon and about the whole thing. So thank you to everybody for contributing, and we'll leave you with Brett Quigley talking about his cousin Devon last year at the U.S. Senior Open. Thanks again to everybody. This is GolfNewsRI TV. We'll see you tomorrow.
We were talking about Devon today. A day doesn't go by I don't think about Devon and talk about Devon and get my Dana just unmercifully gives me a hard time about everything. So that's not unusual for Dana to text me, call me, and give me a hard time about anything. But yeah, Devon will be certainly on my mind throughout the week, and he has been, and he will continue to be.
You've been watching GolfNewsRI TV with host Joe Calabro.